Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Thank you for coming. Morning, Eunice, Karen, June, Jenny, Sue, Jill. Happy anniversary, Jill. Morning, Pat. Yes, I did get your email. Sorry. I will sort that out for you. Who else are we? Karen, June, Sheila. Lovely. Lovely to see you all here again. Alison, so we are back. We have survived Storm Francis, which was blooming stormy. Dear, oh dear. I don't know. Oh, crash, bang, wallop. It was a rough old day, but it was quite nice because it meant I had a really good excuse to be in the craft room all day long yesterday, so that was really nice. So today, Wednesday, I try to go over things that you may have already got. And so we are going to go with the Pinstripe Poinsettia Frame, which is this one here, and also the sentiments. So a couple of tips on either one of them, both of them, and just to throw into the mix, I'm going to be doing a bit of a fancy fold. It's not a new one. They are back on YouTube to see, so you can see this one, a double Z fold card we're going to do. So these are the two dies. So we've got this one here, which has got 15 dies in total of. And I have to say that when I first got this one, I thought, oh my God, it all cuts out individually. I'm not going to be sticking each letter on. But then when I actually got them and realised that what happens is it cuts out the actual word and you look through it like a stencil. It's a really clever, different idea. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips with that as well. And then this little one is just two dies, and that gives you the outer frame here, but also this background. Now, I'm not going to be using that one today, but that is a very good one just to pop behind these poinsettias here, so that it gives it a colour background, which is really pretty. So that's the die sets that we're going to be using. So let me start with the card fold. So I'm going to take a blank 7x7 black card, okay, and then I'm going to go black and red again here, black, red and gold again. Sorry, that's my favourites at the moment for this year, and then a piece of red. So we also need to look at the die to see what sizes we want. So the die itself has no cutting edge, no outside cutting edge. And if you measure the die itself, it is just a fraction under 13 centimetres, or if you want to be fussy, about 5 inches, okay? So a 7-inch card will be ideal for this, but you can do a bigger size or whatever you like. So if we imagine that we need to make sure that when we cut out our Pinstripe Poinsettia frame, we need to give it a frame, and depending on how big a frame we want to give it, it depends on what sort of size. So I think if I was to pop my ruler just 1/2 centimetre over this end, 1/2 centimetre over there. So if I said that we did a 14x14, I think. Let's just check because I've cheated and cut one out already. Yeah, no, we are 13.7, more or less. So yeah, it's just to decide what size that you want. Okay, now I need to cut 2 of those. But let's fold our card up so that we know where we are. So our first piece is our 7x7 card. And I'm going to fold this piece to the centre line. So fold the front to the centre line and just burnish that down. Okay. So that's that card done. Then this is the piece that's going to go on the front. So this was, hold on, all is well, I think. The doorbell went, but I have organised, I think. This piece is 14.5 that way, and therefore to be double 29 that way. So I've cut that out of an A4 piece of card. So I'm going to fold that piece in half as well. And burnish that down the centre. And then do exactly the same as we did there. Fold the other piece like that. Okay, so we've got a nice burnished card there and one there as well. And that is going to go like that. So if we fold it together, that's how the finished card is going to be as such. But I got a lot of more decoration and things. But you can see that that's where the card is. And if I hold on to that, once it's stuck, it will open out like that. Okay, so that's our base card. Now we need to do a bit of decoration to it. So let's take our Pinstripe Poinsettia Frame and let's take a piece of gold mirror card, which now you can see, oh, reflects lovely, doesn't it? I think we'll do it the other way so that you can't see the reflection on anything. So we were going to do that. So let's measure this again. And it was just about 13 and a half. So let's try that. 13 and a half. 13 and a half. Pop that in there. Beautiful, beautiful. So I obviously have got to have it that way around for you to be able to see what I'm doing. But I thought I'd be a bit cheeky there. Right. So just going to pop that onto there, giving myself that little bit of a border all the way around. And I'm going to stick it down into the centre because the centrepiece I do want, but it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit marked. So when I put it onto my cutting board, my lovely well-worn cutting board, I am going to put it that way so that it gives, when I put that through the machine, it gives me a good section that can roll over there. Mainly because the mirror card is a bit thicker, in all honesty. But it needs to have as much oomph as it can there. So I'm just popping that through. So as I said, I need to cut out two. So I've already cut out one. And just need to cut out the other one. I'll just check on the back to make sure that all the little pieces, if you can see that, have all cut through properly so that we can be sure that that's all okay. And I'm going to take my brush and brush out most of the pieces that I can before I take the die out. Although I have to say I've got sticky tape over a lot of it, so that isn't going to help, is it? So we then carefully take that off. And as I say, I do want that piece, so I'm going to put that to one side. But I don't need that piece at the second. So because I had sticky tape over it, I've got to take out the pieces there. Do you realise that it is only 16, 17 weeks until Christmas? Well, 4 months today, it'll all be over. 4 months today, it will be Boxing Day, and we'll all wonder what on earth all the fuss was about, eh? I can't believe where this year has gone, really. I think we'll all be pleased to see the back of it, to be honest with you. And just hope that we all continue to stay safe and well, eh? So just taking all these little bits out and in these corners here and in that corner there. And if you've got the decorative corner die, that goes really well with this die. So some of the samples I did before used that because it was it just fitted in with it so well. So if you have got that one, you might do some designs that have actually incorporated that. And I think that's, as we've said before, one of the beauties of these John Next Door dies is that they do fit so well with ones that you've had before. Let's just check that I've got all the bits out. I think I have. Okay, so let's scoop all these bits away. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so I'm going to take my red piece of card, and before I do any sticking or anything, I want to sort out about the sentiments, because this is going to sit into the centre here, and I'm going to have my sentiments in the middle here. So here is my little tip, which I have to say was not mine, and I picked it up from various other people that I've seen. So when the sentiments come, they are just a blank piece of metal, and you can't see anything on the back of them. So what I've noticed people have been doing, and I think that's a jolly good idea, with one of my alcohol marker pens, so it's a permanent pen in black, I've put an arrow to say which way it is up, so that if I was to put that, because you're cutting it down like that way, you can't see what you're cutting. So I've put it so that we're going to get it the right way up, and I've also written on it what it says, so that I can easily see which ones it is that I want to make up my word, or my sentiment, I should say. So obviously, because we've got that pattern there, we might be a bit restricted like that. We can't really fit that one in. Well, you can just about. So, you know, you'll need to mix and choose whichever you want. So I think I'm going to go for a fairly simple merry. And shall we go for wishing you a Merry Christmas? I think we'll go whole hog here. There's two sizes Christmas, and I've actually put in small, and the other one will say L for large. Okay, so yeah, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Let's see if we can fit that all in. So we have to bear in mind that I don't want to stick this frame down at the moment, but I can pop a little bit of tape into it. And the reason why I don't want to stick it down is because if I put it through the machine again, it might make a mark onto the gold mirror, and I don't want to do that. So there we go. Wishing. Let's see if we can fit it all in even. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. So there we go. It does all fit in. So let's just tape one of them down. I'm going to put that over to there. So that's my Christmas. I'm going to put the merry bit into the centre of there so that that all shows. And it's going to be a little bit wonky, but hey, do we care? Do we care? Well, the only thing I've got to be careful of is that I don't overlap the sentiments, because we don't want them to overlap, because it will squash the dies. No other reason other than it will squash the dies. So I've taped that all into position, and now I'm just going to take off my frame because I don't need that going through the machine. I'm going to open up my card so that I'm only going to be getting the cutouts onto there. And I'm just going to pop that through my plates again. This is the bit where you hope you've actually written the wordings up the right way. Is there, sorry Julie, is there a way to stop the outer rectangle of the sentiments marking the card? No, I'm afraid there isn't. No. It does, and look at that. That's what I mean about the fact that when I first saw it, I don't know if I put that up like that. When I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, I have now got to pick each one of those bits up And I know that there's some amongst you that will think, oh, look, I can make another card with that. And I can pick up each little bit and I can make another word. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you, because I ain't doing that. No, I'm afraid that it doesn't actually show it. But to be honest with you, I think it looks quite nice. I think it gives it a good frame. If you were doing a card that was just like that, then it would notice that much more. But once we put lots of frames on it and things, I don't notice it quite so much. But that's just me. Hold on, let's get it around the right way. So there we go. We've got wishing you a Merry Christmas. Now, the reason why I said that we wanted to save this bit is because we want it to be gold from behind. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on the back, making sure that all of the words are covered so that we can see the Wish Me Merry Christmas from behind. Now, of course, you could take another piece of mirror card and put a proper square on there. But in this particular case, you cannot see the back of this piece of card. So actually, why waste, which can be quite expensive mirror card? So I'm just going to take my little, I don't want all those little bits in there because that is a little bit silly. I'm being particularly frugal here today. So if I put it on from the back, I can see from the back whether I've covered every little bit, which I think you can see I have there. And obviously I can't put glue all over here because it's going to come through on those words. So the way that I'm going to stick this on is by putting the glue. Oh, hold on a second. Didn't store this one up around the right way. Putting the glue like that, so that I have got glue on it, but it's not going to be on the mirror card itself. And then I'm just going to make sure again that I've got that into position and just stick that down. Don't want to move it. That's the trouble with mirror card, isn't it? That sometimes you can move it about, so that when I turn that over, you've got that shining through there really nicely. Okay. Just want to take those bits off there because otherwise we're going to get it well and truly stuck everywhere. But as I say, fortunately, you're not going to see that bit. And then we are going to take our frame. Make sure I get it around the right way. And that's going to go there. So let's pop some glue onto the back of that. Oh, hold on, I've got to get all the little bits out, you know. And as I said, the background of the poinsettia frame has that little bit that fits behind here. But because I've got red showing behind here, I didn't feel that I needed to have anything more showing. So hence why I'm not using that background. But it's really handy for a lot of things to have that colour there if you were doing this white or something. I'm just going to pop glue around the frame and then just a little bit like that. And a little bit on the poinsettias so that they stick down as well. So we need to pop that down, leaving ourselves with that little bit of a border all the way around. Mirror card I find always takes a fraction or two longer just to grab. So just make sure that is in place, and then from the back, just press down. So then from the back, you're not going to risk getting glue and moving it all around. So I know that doesn't look pretty there, but as I said, you're not going to see it. Okay, so a couple of little places just drying off there. So now let's go back to our black card whilst we leave that to one side to dry. So this is our black card, and it's going to go on there like that, but I still want a little bit more. So I've cut out some already. Now this isn't Christmas paper. This is just some card, I can't even, Couture Creations, I think, from I do not know how many years ago. And I've already cut this down to size, and I just want that as a bit of a background. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I just find it more pleasing, shall we say. So just a piece for there, and a piece for these two places as well. So one for here. So I measured the card, and then I took half a centimetre off on all of the panels there, so that I know that that's going to be in exactly the right place. Let's get that straight. And then the one at the front, which has got a bit more pattern, I chose that pattern on purpose so that it will come down the front. Although, to be fair, you will hardly see it. It is more or less all covered. I'm just going to pop that, make sure that that's lining up with my one at the back, just so that when you look at it, it's all lining up there. So as I open it, okay, now this bit here has got all wording on, but actually you're not going to see that either. So my card is now going to go on there like that. Now, I said about cutting out a second frame, which, as I said, I've already done. And the reason being that if you just chop and mix and match your frame, you can make some very pretty elements or other frames all together. So if we were to cut out, so I'm just randomly cutting out this frame. So all I'm doing is going off at an angle so that I have got that piece there with, now this is the frame die that goes underneath it, but you can imagine that that would make a very pretty corner frame as well. I'm going to do the same to here, but I'm actually going to use these other pieces. So those are for another card. Beautiful. See, I could just do that. That's very pretty as well. But I'm going to use these as well. Now, clearly, if this wasn't folded in the middle, it makes a really pretty corner to go on, as a big corner to go on any die, any card there. So I think that looks really nice. But obviously, I've got to make it fit in to these corners. So I'm just going to cut that off to there. Now, this is a random cut. I'm just cutting it basically. That goes to there. And as I've already cut that one, I better cut them both the same size. So I turn that over and cut across there and across there. Just making two little corners so that one can go down there and one can go up there, just as a decorative element, really. As I said, if you wanted, and you have got the decorative corners, you've got a very similar corner that you could put down there as well. But I think that this looks nice if it's all the same as these ones here, that when you open it out, now you're never going to open it out flat like that at the same time, that your sentiments and things would look nice on here as well, on this page here. I'll just put that down in the corner. But that's what another thing with your die sets. Always look for something else that you could do with it that could make that. I mean, if you just had that there, that's not for Christmas, is it? That's absolutely any occasion that you want. And men, women, posh, not posh, anything you like, really pretty. So now we need to pop this into position, and in order to do so, we need to turn it over. So fold it together, turn it over, and I need to put glue on this flap here. And I recommend that at the same time, I put the glue on this bit here, because then I can, because I would like to fit it all into position in one go so that I can see what I'm doing. So I've got it on those two pieces. I'm going to turn it over. Then I can take it all in one and evenly pop that down onto there. So it goes squarely in the centre, and it also will then open up properly. So I'm just going to press it down till it grabs. And if you put the glue on when it's closed, you can make sure that you haven't put the glue in the wrong place. So that's a top tip I would give you as well. Close the actual frontage bit here when you're putting the glue on, so that you can make sure that your glue will only go on that section and then on the bit that's going on the back, because you don't want this card stuck together. So when we then open our card, we have got our double Z. That's how it stands. So when it comes to what you want to write in it, you can write on either of those two panels there with a lovely gold pen, which would look lovely. Or alternatively, you can turn it over and you can either write on a gold pen there, or you could even add another frame or something, and you do your writing on the back there. But either way, once it stands up, you can either see your writing or not, as the case may be. I know you can't really see that now, can you? That's the only trouble. Can't see all my 3Ds. So I'm sorry that it's a fancy fold as well as another card, but it just gives you an idea of what you can do with these cards. And, you know, beautiful detail, but fairly flat. Put that into a 7x7 card envelope and it's fairly flat. You've also got these bits left over. Yeah, I think it's very, very pretty. Do you like it? I've seen a little bit here that shouldn't be in there. Get out. You are not welcome. Thank you. I'm terrible for that, always picking up little bits. That's better. That's better. So I just love these corners. As I said, chop them off and make them into other corner things. Just looks lovely. So, yes, and as you say, using up the old papers. This isn't a Christmas paper, but now I've put that on there and it says wishing you a Merry Christmas. You're no longer looking at that paper and thinking, well, that's not Christmas. But if it was Christmas, that's fine as well. So, you know, it's just the colouring. And as I said, you can't, okay, yes, if you were to poke your nose down there, you could see that that was a white piece there, but you could put a red piece on the back. But really, if we're being frugal, you can't really notice that that was actually the waste of this die was putting that through. And I think that looks very, very posh. Looks almost foiled actually, doesn't it? So there's our card for today. Now, despite the fact that I've given you a fancy fold, because you've already had it once, I will still be doing a fancy fold for you on Friday at 10 o'clock. So that's our next date to meet. And then we've got a bank holiday coming up. So I will be here on Sunday with our Sunday special. But I will also, being as it's bank holiday, be here on Monday, bank holiday Monday. Going to do you a quick well, what would you call it? Demo, yeah, demo for you on Monday, bank holiday Monday, this coming Monday, the 31st of August, and that will be at 11 as well. So what a treat you have in store, all those dates that you've got to put in your diary. And if anyone says, let's go out for a lunch or anything like that, you just say no. No, I've got to watch this first, okay? Not really. The good thing is that it's all on YouTube, that you can just pick up whenever you want. Don't forget, subscribe, and then you would be able to save the videos onto your own list, but they're always there. Don't forget anything that you haven't got. If you haven't got yourself the sentiments, or you haven't got yourself the Pinstripe Poinsettia Frame, pop over to the Facebook live products onto the website at maximumcrafts.com. They're all on there as well. And also at the end, would be lovely if you could put your comments on, because that really helps get everybody know where we all are. Tell all your friends, come over and have a look, and it's there forever when you want to look. Okay, yeah, it would look nice with Sam's circles, any square card. Yeah, it really lends itself to it. Okay, so have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see if I can find it for you, May, and send you a link over if you can't find it. But yeah, they're all out on the website. This one will be in just a second. I'll take some photographs. Have a great day, and I'll see you at 10 o'clock on Friday morning, hopefully, for the next Fancy Fold Friday. 2 fancy folds in a week. You are the luckiest people alive. Take care. Bye.